Okay, move the glasses so I don't have the glare. Um, just want to put a little note at the beginning of this video. I worked all day trying to figure out my software so that I could get this video done and get it uploaded. But I want to put a little preface at the beginning of it. Um, the latter portion of the video deals with a very difficult topic, deals with grief and dealing with grief, but also with um, how we all express ourselves and whether or not we have um, responsibility for the words that are coming out of our mouths and how they affect the people around us. I just want to give a little bit of warning at the beginning of it because the grief portion of it is a very difficult subject. It's difficult to live with, but for those who do not live with it, it can just be difficult to hear about. That said, um, the following video was part of our day, and please, if you like the video, subscribe and click the little bell. Thank you.
Is it recording? Yes. What am I doing? I'm getting some video of you playing. You love laundry day, don't you? So we have a gray water system for the clothes washing machine. Everything else goes into the septic, but the water from the laundry goes right here. The chickens and the goats, it goes out here to the pasture. But we have this one little pool here from Micah. Oh, don't splash me, you little turkey lurkey. Hey, I said don't. Turkey. Where's my pause button? I forgot where to pause. You know Mama doesn't like wet clothes. All right, are you going to be good so I can go dig some more in the garden? Are you going to be good? No, don't get my camera. Are you going to be good? You don't know if you're going to, at least you're honest. Will you stay out of trouble so I can go work on the garden? You will? You'll be good? All right. Well, we will see if I can take her at her word. I've already worked on the fence today, and sounds like Missy's wanting out of the house, but until I get her a little pen made for out here, she cannot run around outside. Because she goes under the back fence and then goes to the neighbors, and I have to take off and go catch her. So that makes life a little challenging. But anyway, I'm going to set this back up, and I'm going to get back to digging. Okay, let's see. Yeah, right there. Hard to sit comfortably on these cushions because these are old. Before we got rid of our old couch, I saved the cushions for her playhouse. but I'll learn how to get up from it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in the video, and it may be a little deep for just my second video. You've already got your clothes wet, baby. Just play in those. And then we'll put you in dry clothes when you're done playing, okay? One of the reasons I kept coming to check on her as I was working, everybody who knows me knows that 6.5 years ago, lost a daughter in an accident 5 weeks before her 3rd birthday. Besides the usual mom guilt of losing a child to an accident, I have the guilt that I had recently taken a job that I absolutely loved and that I was very good at. Granted, it was only a part-time job because of just the nature of the job. I could do a lot of my work from home, and I only had to be away from home for part of the day. We had been on a payday, and so we went into town. After I got paid, we went into town, paid some bills. I needed new tires on my truck, so we took care of that. Things had been going wonderfully, and my daughter and my bonus child, who was with me at the time, had both been behaving impeccably, and they were very, very patient while we were waiting for the new tires to go on the truck, and it was just a wonderful day. So as we were heading back to the house, and actually heading to the babysitters, we went through the drive-thru at Dairy Queen. I asked the kids what kind of shakes they wanted. I asked my beautiful Maxine, what flavor milkshake do you want? And she hollered, pink! And so I got her a strawberry milkshake with whipped cream and the cherry. And then she stole the bonus child's cherry, and then she took the cherry off my milkshake. And she was laughing and giggling. We were having a wonderful time. And I took her to the babysitters, and she gave me a hug and a kiss, and told her I would see her later that evening. And then a few hours later, I got a phone call from her dad saying that there was blood everywhere. And I thought, because his anxiety goes up whenever anyone besides himself is bleeding. And so I thought she'd gotten a little cut or something. And so my bonus child had gone with me to work. So I was working on creating classes to teach middle school kids math and science by way of aviation. And the hangar where our office was had a World War II fighter plane, and he was polishing that plane, and so I hollered at him to come with me, and we went to the house, and we get to the house, and there was an ambulance, and there were police cars, and the yard was taped off. Her dad had fixed her a snack, watermelons that I'd cut that morning and put in the fridge. He had fixed her snack and was, go catch her! Let me see if I can remember how to pause this thing. Hey, Missy. Come here, Missy. Missy, come here. Oh, it's still going. Okay, come here, Missy. Come here. Okay, she's with me, baby. And, so, the last I saw of my beautiful little girl that I'd prayed for 21 years was as they were loading her in the back of the ambulance, and I could tell that her tummy was swollen. I didn't know what had happened. Later, her father was able to tell me that she had finished her snack and he had taken her bowl into the kitchen and he heard a crash. She had attempted to climb the antique chest of drawers that was in her room and it fell over. So I can't leave my youngest, whom I was blessed with nearly 13 months after the accident. There she goes. Watch her. Oh, goodness. That was a bit of a trip. So, Missy, our little Min Pin Chihuahua mix. I'm going to see if I can get a little more comfortable here and still stretch out here on these cushions. What, baby? That's okay. That's yours. If you want to. Okay. So, no, paper doesn't, if it floats for a little bit, maybe. And then when it's soaked up water, it won't float anymore. You test it. See how long it'll float. Did it start sinking? What happens if you open the pages up and set it on the water? What happened? Is it going to float a little bit for a minute? Ah. You're a goose. Okay, so Missy is our little Min Pin Chihuahua. She was Maxine's puppy. We got her when Maxine was 6 months old and she was 6 weeks old. I see that, baby. Uh-huh. Interesting experiment, huh? No, thank you. I don't want to get... Oh, when the paper gets wet, it rips? Yep. So... And... So... Missy is now 9 years old. I know. Because you're too heavy, huh? You're too heavy to float on the top. Because you're solid. Yeah, but that's not a boat. That's water. All right. So yeah, if Missy gets out in the yard, she looks for any little gap under the fence so that she can take off. And that's exactly what she did. She took off up the street, but at least this time we caught her before she got in a quarter mile, which is a good thing. Actually, I guess she was about a quarter mile when we caught her. So, a nice little vigorous half-mile walk. And I was talking about having lost Maxine in an accident. So, that's why I cannot go too long without having eyes on Micah, even though I have lots of work to get done.
I can't breathe in this.
Well, you're not supposed to be able, that's the whole thing. You're supposed to hold your breath and go underwater, and it keeps the water from getting up your nose. But you got to hold your breath. If you're going to have it on, you breathe through your mouth when you're not in the water, okay? Because it keeps things from going up your nose. So if you can't breathe with it on, that means it's on tight. That means it'll help keep the water out of your face, or out of your nose, okay? That's what it's meant for. Anyway, about 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, we were at a family gathering shortly before Micah's 3rd birthday. And, you know, we'd lost Maxine 5 weeks before her 3rd birthday. So Micah was about the same age that Maxine had been. And we were at a family gathering. And I kept going over to check on Micah and my great nephew as they were playing. He's a year younger than she is. And somebody made a comment, we don't have to have somebody watching them all the time. It's not like something's going to happen and one will die. And I just looked at this person and turned around and walked away. And went to the children and stayed away from the adults for quite a while. Be careful there, Pumpkin. Watch what you're doing. And I've had people tell me that that particular person just doesn't think about how their words will impact others. And I wonder, do any of us get a bye, going into sports terms, do we get to get away from the responsibility of what we say just because we didn't think ahead of time what impact it may have on the people around us? Is that an excuse? Hi there. I'm trying to talk on this. I love you. My sweetie pie. You make Mommy smile. Be careful. All of us have a tendency to say things without thinking that may be hurtful to others. But once we realize that what we have said was hurtful to another person, from that point on, doesn't that give us a little bit more responsibility to think first before we say things? To weigh our words instead of just letting them fall out of our mouths? To just have a little bit of a pause? Or should we be able to just, claim freedom of speech and be able to just say whatever falls out of our mouths without thinking it through first? We're at a time in our country where, even before all the political stuff, even without all of that that's been going on, for the last several years, when you ask somebody to think about what they're saying before they open their mouths, sometimes a lot of them, especially the young folks, some that are my age, but definitely the younger ones, will say, freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want. You can't tell me what. Like, do you have enough concern for other people to weigh your words, to think about what you're going to say before you say it? Hey, I think I need to focus a little bit more on Micah for the time being. That and I have some laundry I need to get done. So y'all have a wonderful day and be blessed. What? Oh, you want to say goodbye to the video too? To anybody who's watching this? Well, come on down. Monkey, come around. There you are. Can you say bye? All right. Be blessed. No, Daddy wasn't on there, baby. Where is my button? There it is.